Notre Dame Cathedral had to burn down. It may sound crazy, but if the church had never gone up in flames, it would have continued down a pathetic path of degradation, and the French would have watched the historic landmark turn into ruins. The fire began on April 15, 2019, around 6:30 p.m. It's unclear how the fire started, but arson was ruled out because there was no sign of a break-in or fuel found among the debris. Two alternative ideas have been proposed. Notre Dame had been undergoing minor repairs before the incident. The fire could have started by an employee who failed to stomp out their cigarette. The workers had confessed to smoking on the scaffolding before the fire. However, since the fire broke out inside the cathedral, where there was no scaffolding, fire officials have also suggested that an electrical short circuit may have sparked it all. The flames burned all night until Tuesday morning, reaching temperatures above 1,472 degrees Fahrenheit. 500 firefighters frantically battled the blaze, climbing up hundreds of stairs while breathing in toxic fumes. Using specialized low-pressure fire hoses, they tried to preserve the integrity of the historic building while soaking up the flames. Clergy members, policemen, and firefighters formed a human chain to pass holy relics from inside the church to safety. The firefighters worked efficiently from the inside, preventing the flames from reaching the two belfry towers where the massive cathedral bells hung. The wooden frames of the towers posed a serious threat. If they were to catch fire, the bells, weighing up to 13 tons, would have come crashing down. This would have utterly destroyed the towers and a larger portion of the cathedral. But they couldn't reach the fire from the ground with the bell towers being over 200 feet above them. A crew of 20 climbed the church to aim the water directly at the hotspot threatening the bells. French authorities reported the cathedral was within 15 to 30 minutes of complete destruction before the firefighters saved the bells from plummeting to the ground. By the time the fire was put out, just 1/3 of the roof remained intact. One of the reasons the cathedral went up in flames so quickly is that a large portion of it is made of wood. Oak beams, along with lead sheets, were engineered to prevent the stone vault ceiling from collapsing. This kind of technology prevented the complete destruction of the cathedral during the fire and helped to preserve the inside of the building. Remarkably, 2 organs and the ornate rose windows survived the fire. The high altar and the famous Golden Cross of Glory also survived largely intact. For archaeologists and engineers, the fire inspired new revelations. Stone vaults had crashed down from the ceiling, creating massive holes in the 19th century heating network beneath the church. A team of 50 archaeologists worked on the restoration, digging for insights into the era when the cathedral was built. On the site, they discovered numerous artifacts dating back 2,000 years to the Roman Empire. Among other major finds were 2 lead sarcophagi. Forensic analysis suggested that one belonged to a Notre Dame cleric, Antoine de la Porte, while the other contained an anonymous man, possibly a poet, Joachim du Bellay. These were just a few remarkable discoveries at Notre Dame. The destruction of monuments and buildings can give engineers a clearer view of how these structures were built. The fire revealed tools like staples and iron nails, discoveries that baffled historians. Dating these artifacts allowed experts to get a better look at engineering methods used in the pre-19th century. While studying some stone pieces from the cathedral, archaeologists dated the material to the 1220s, prompting them to rethink the chronology of the building site. But why did it take the cathedral almost burning down for people to start caring? Pollution, rain, and the effects of time significantly impacted Notre Dame. The cathedral hosted around 13 million people in 2018 alone. Although it was a beloved site, the French government and people would not commit the funds necessary to restore it. The state technically owned the cathedral, but under laws separating church and state, there was confusion among government officials and clergy about who was responsible for restoring it. The archdiocese of the church was only in charge of maintaining its upkeep, not funding it. The Ministry of Culture provided around 2 million euros per year for the cathedral, but it was not enough for a full restoration and covered only basic repairs. Because of France's strict secular government, the state could not directly fund the repair of the religious monument. While different groups argued over who should be taking care of Notre Dame, the cathedral was breaking down before everyone's eyes. Since its previous restoration in the 1860s by Eugène Viollet-Duc and Jean-Baptiste Lassus, the building had been slowly deteriorating until 2019. The balustrades were collapsing, and the facades were cracked. Rainwater had been seeping in through holes in the roof for decades. The gargoyles, whose purpose was to drain water, had been falling apart and replaced with cheap PVC pipes for temporary drainage. The lead roof had been poisoning the building with its slow decay. The flying buttresses meant to support the walls were significantly weakened, posing a huge safety hazard to tourists and employees. Other hazards, like falling stone, threatened visitors. Netting was put up to catch stones falling so they didn't take anyone out. It makes you wonder how they allowed tourists in such a dangerous environment. Leading up to 2019, the spire had also been falling apart. There were meek attempts to restore it, along with other major elements of the church. Coincidentally, 4 days before the fire broke out, 16 of the statues on the outside of the cathedral were brought down by crane for restoration. Some care was being offered for Notre Dame, but it wasn't enough. Before the fire, nobody was coming to save the epic cathedral. Although it is important to French heritage, its revival was put on the back burner while tourists continued to visit the dying landmark. This type of slow demise was ill-fitting to one of the world's most famous pieces of architecture. The disaster was a brutal wake-up call. Fortunately, the work done on the cathedral after the fire gave it an entirely new life, blending medieval and modern architecture. The restoration was widely seen as a success. The COVID-19 pandemic caused a major interruption starting in March 2020 and resumed gradually in June of the same year. About 2,000 people contributed to the reconstruction, including members of the Compagnons du Devoir, a French guild-like organization known for preserving traditional crafts such as stone carving, carpentry, and ironwork. They removed years and years of soot and dust that had been building up since the last restoration in the 1860s. When cleaning the windows, amazing shades of blues, reds, and golds emerged from the ash, revealing decades of dust. After cleaning more than 131,000 feet of limestone, the church's luminosity became a striking feature. Gargoyles and chimeras were damaged, so they were removed and replaced with like-for-like stone replicas sculpted using 3D scans of the originals. The artists remade them in limestone in a workshop just outside the cathedral. The cathedral's famous bells were removed from the towers in 2023 and brought down for cleaning and restoration. Afterward, they were returned to their homes. Craftsmen built and erected a spire that was remarkably close to the first one. The crew placed the new golden rooster on the spire in 2023, redesigned to look like a phoenix, replacing the old one that had been damaged in the fire. The golden bird contains the crown of thorns, a relic worn by Jesus Christ, and a scroll containing the names of the 2,000 workers who helped rebuild Notre Dame. The wooden ceiling had been entirely ruined in the carnage. But by a fortunate coincidence, an architect, Remy Froment, had done extensive research on the original timber frame as part of his university thesis. The crew was able to create a ceiling made from over 1,000 oak trees, similar to the first. The great organ's 8,000 pipes were filled with toxic lead, but the crews cleaned them out and restored them. The organ is now in working condition. However, much of the cathedral and the surrounding area was poisoned by the toxic lead dust that spread after the collapse of the roof. With all the work being done, it makes you wonder how they could have possibly afforded it, considering the government had such a hard time raising money before the fire. Before the fire broke out, the Parisian public didn't think much about Notre Dame. The French government estimated the cathedral needed around 150 million euros for restoration, and most people were unwilling to pay for it. The cathedral fire also took place during a politically tumultuous time in Paris. There were violent protests earlier that spring, with the Yellow Vest movement rising up in opposition to the French president Emmanuel Macron. However, the destruction of the beloved monument helped the president unite the country in the site's restoration. Protests temporarily stopped, and the public worked together to raise money and assist in whatever way they could. 39 million euros came from 46,000 people and 60 small businesses. Many larger donations came from French business tycoons and billionaires. Notre Dame was not only important to France, but to the world. It was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1991 and has been considered an important part of human history for decades. 150 countries around the globe donated and pledged their support for the reconstruction. Within 48 hours of the incident, pledges reached over 900 million euros. Within days, that number had reached nearly 1 billion euros. Some organizations walked back their pledges, but Notre Dame was still reconstructed with a final budget of 700 million euros and about 140 million euros left over for future preservation. Macron launched the restoration campaign with the support of French tycoons and global corporations. The president said the project would take 5 years to complete. He was almost spot on. The doors to the cathedral opened to the public again on December 7, 2024, around 5 years and just under 8 months after the fire. Notre Dame has been around since the 12th century, so this wasn't the first time it needed a helping hand. Construction began in 1163 under King Louis VII and took nearly 200 years to complete. Being over 800 years old, the cathedral had seen its heyday before the 2019 incident. In the 1840s, the cathedral had been completed for nearly 500 years and was considered old news. Parisians had moved past the cathedral's architectural style. In fact, many wanted to have it demolished. This was before Victor Hugo's classic novel The Hunchback of Notre Dame revived interest in the church where the story takes place. Now that it had been reintroduced as a living monument to the people, the French began to care about the structure's deterioration. In 1842, there were major restorations to the Notre Dame Cathedral. In 1844, Eugène Viollet-le-Duc and Jean-Baptiste Lassus were selected to carry out the work. The French government dedicated between 4 and 5 million francs to the project. During the restoration, the architects improved on many things. They replaced stones, restored portals, added statues, and built the famous 750-ton spire that later fell in 2019. After the cathedral reopened in 2024, experts say that it's now in better structural condition than it has been in over 200 years. The building was equipped with majorly improved fire alarm systems and sprinklers, which could have come in handy a bit sooner. The fire also directly inspired the creation of a digital twin archive movement. Dozens of World Heritage sites have since been laser scanned to prevent the loss of knowledge from future disasters. We don't think about it often, but could you imagine what would happen if something like the Sphinx or El Castillo were to be destroyed? Preserving our landmarks is integral to maintaining history, and the burning of Notre Dame has prompted historians and scientists to take better preventative measures to protect our World Heritage sites. We never appreciate what we have until it's gone. Watching a beloved monument go up in a ball of flames mobilized hundreds of thousands of people to make a change for the Notre Dame Cathedral. After its restoration, the cathedral hosted over 6 million people in the first 6 months of reopening, and now presents a new, stunning impression compared to its older, dustier version, which had been worn down over time. Do you think that eventually people would have rebuilt the cathedral without the fire? Or was Notre Dame doomed to a slow and uneventful death? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed learning about the restoration of Notre Dame, you would also enjoy our video on the Eiffel Tower or the City of Venice. Thanks for watching.